Searching for new VR games in September 2023? We're rounding up our latest monthly highlights. August might be this year's quietest month for VR so far, with only a handful of games, most targeting PSVR 2. It didn't lack big names, though. There was I Expect You to Die 3, Firewall Ultra, Crossfire, Sierra Squad and VR Skater, and we also previewed Borderbots VR. Other notable releases include Phasmophobia, Green Hell VR, The Riza Project, Prologue, Elysium Trials and War of Being. Thankfully, September looks considerably busier across most major platforms thanks to a stacked lineup. Let's not forget Kinect will reveal further MetaQuest 3 details on September 27th. We expect the conference to mostly focus on hardware, but there's a good chance Meta may reveal more about key releases like Asgard's Wrath 2. As always, this list will receive updates as more confirmations come through, so make sure you bookmark this page. For now, here are all the big upcoming VR and AR games reaching MetaQuest 2, PC VR, PSVR 2 and Pico 4 in September 2023. Budget Cuts Ultimate. Following June's launch on PSVR 2 and Quest, Budget Cuts Ultimate now reaches Steam VR. It merges Budget Cuts and Budget Cuts 2, Mission Insolvency into one seamless adventure, which previously released individually on PC VR before. You can check out our full review for more details. Inverse. Developed by Mass VR, Inverse is set in an eponymous world filled with horrific creatures known as the Newell. Taking place across 5-player matches, 4 agents must survive by powering up control terminals across a facility, stopping the Newell escaping through an anomaly portal. Following a previous early access launch, that's now appearing on the main quest door.
All other agents are down. It's now up to you to...
Toss. Published by Vertigo Games, Toss is a banana-themed platformer reaching most major VR platforms. Playing as a monkey, Toss involves climbing up ladders, swinging across branches and other platforming challenges, swiping bananas as you go. Yupitergrad 2, The Lost Station. A VR action-adventure game from Game Dust, Yupitergrad 2, The Lost Station has seen a pretty staggered release. Initially a timed exclusive on Pico Neo 3 Link and Pico 4, it eventually released on Quest in July and Steam VR is next. Check out our full review to learn more. Alvo. Initially launched as a PSVR exclusive, Alvo is an arcade-style shooter originally built around the PlayStation aim controller. Featuring Sense controller haptic feedback and adaptive triggers on PSVR 2, cross-platform multiplayer is supported with the PSVR, Quest and Pico versions.
Yeah, here we come. Hey.
Behind the Frame VR. Developed by Silver Lining Games, Behind the Frame, The Finest Scenery first appeared 2 years ago and takes direct inspiration from director Hayao Miyazaki. Described as a paint-and-click adventure, you follow aspiring artist Amber as she relives her past, navigating everyday life's hardships while focusing on finishing her masterpiece. Gazzlers. Developed by Bolt Blaster Games, Gazzlers is described as an on-rails arcade VR shooter, featuring a roguelite-inspired encounter system that tasks you with completing challenges, collecting scrap, upgrading your skills, and taking on enemies in search of the final station. That's arriving on all major platforms. Twistex. Developed by Middleman Games, Twistex is a falling block puzzler where you rotate a cylindrical grid to fill it with shapes. Featuring 2 modes at launch, the Quest version supports pass-through environments where objects are affected by real-time lighting. A Steam VR version with non-pass-through environments will follow later this year. Ruinsmagus, Complete. Released on Quest 2 and PC VR last year, Character Bank now brings Ruinsmagus to PSVR 2, a fantasy RPG dungeon crawler where you strengthen your gold across various story quests. As a complete edition, that includes the Warrior and the Tailor DLC and changes seen in the Remix update. Broken Edge. Developed by Trebuchet, Broken Edge is a 1v1 dueling game with offline solo play and online multiplayer. Previously released on Quest and PSVR, it values strategic finesse over brute force, and you must destroy your opponent's weapon before you can kill them. Hellsweeper VR. Developed by Mixed Realms, Hellsweeper VR offers an intense action combat experience. Set in the fiery depths of hell, you're tasked with clearing through demons, conjuring weapons using a gesture-based system or using elemental magic. You can check out our Gamescom 2022 preview to learn more. Paper Beast. Originally released 3 years ago, Paper Beast now comes to PSVR 2 alongside a flat version on PS5. A surreal adventure filled with origami-like creatures, Pixel Reef promises enhanced visuals with HDR support and smooth locomotion movement. I Expect You to Die 3, Cog In The Machine. Developed by Shell Games, I Expect You to Die 3, Cog In The Machine makes its second consecutive appearance in our monthly roundups thanks to a Steam VR release. Set in a James Bond-inspired spy-fi world, the latest entry in the single-player puzzle series focuses on thwarting a new villain, Dr. Roxana Prism. Islanders VR. A chilled-out city builder, Islanders VR is described as a minimalist strategy game about building cities on beautiful islands. Unlike similar games, resources don't cost money but building space is limited. A Steam VR version is also confirmed, though the release date remains unknown. System Critical 2. Developed by Old Formulas, System Critical 2 describes itself as a retro-style run-and-gun platformer shooter. A direct sequel to last year's System Critical, The Race Against Time, that arrives this month on Steam VR.
System Critical 2.
Outta Hand. A new VR platformer from Capricia Productions, Outta Hand uses an ARM-based movement system similar to Gorilla Tag and No More Rainbows. Playing as a blue blob creature with long arms, you'll leap and propel yourself through different environments.
Not bad!